Hey guys, what's up? AJ here. Today I want to talk about the 1996 drama film Sling Blade. This film is written by, directed by, and stars Billy Bob Thornton as Carl Childers. Now, if you've never seen Sling Blade, by all means, go watch it. Come back and watch this, because if you've never seen it, I'm just going to assume most people have seen it. So if you haven't seen it, I'm going to ruin things. So spoiler alert, I guess is what I should say. Anyway, Sling Blade is based on a half-hour short film that was written by Billy Bob and stars him and was directed by George Hickenlooper, called, some folks call it, a Sling Blade. Now, if you haven't seen the original half-hour film, it's black and white. It's on YouTube right now. I'm pretty sure you can watch it on there. And interesting thing about that film is Molly Ringwald's in it, so you get to see her. But anyway, in Sling Blade, Billy Bob Thornton plays the character of Carl Childers, who is a mentally challenged man who's been in a psychiatric hospital since he was about 12 or 13 years old. At the beginning of the film, he's about to be released. It's actually the day of his release from the hospital, and a local teenage girl comes to get an interview with him for her high school newspaper. At that point, he tells a monologue about why he's in the hospital, what he did, which is he killed his mother and her lover when he was 12 or 13 years old. Instead of going to jail, he got put into a mental institution, and he's been there ever since. After various different psychiatric evaluations, they've determined that he's better now, he's well, and they're going to let him go back into society. So that's how the movie begins. And then once he's out of the hospital, the movie really, it's kind of, it's really entertaining. It's kind of comical because we get to see the world through Carl's eyes. Like, he has to cope with, where he's going to live. He has to get a job. He has to get something to eat, food, do his laundry, things like that. And we sort of follow with him on this trip as he learns how to do these things. Now, one of the things I love about this movie is that it never makes fun of Carl. It's never laughing at him. It's laughing with him. That's one of the sweet things about the movie, is that we're shown that Carl is a very human. Even though he's done bad things, we see that he's a very human character. He's a very sweet person. And in a lot of ways, throughout the course of the film, we learn that in some situations, he's much smarter than any of the other people in the film. But eventually, the heart of the movie is Carl meets this young boy named Frank, and Frank is played by Lucas Black here, and he's great. It's a great performance by him. But Frank's life is not so great. It's his dad committed suicide. His mother is living in a relationship with a guy named Doyle, who's played by Dwight Yoakam, who's a real ass. He's mean and hateful to both his mother sometimes and all the time to Frank. He can't stand Frank, and so Frank's life is really sad at the time that he meets Carl. It's not going really good, and Carl and Frank become friends really quick, and I think Carl sees that Frank's life is headed in a direction kind of like his went, that things are not going to be very good. They're not going to be happy. They're not going to have a good, healthy life with Doyle in the picture. So eventually, Doyle confronts Carl and Frank and says that he's thinking about asking Frank's mom to marry him. He's going to become his stepdad. He's going to have some rules. Carl's no longer going to be allowed to visit. So Carl makes a decision. In order to give Frank a good, happy life, Doyle has to be out of the picture. So even though he's free and he has this life now where he can do anything he wants, he has a decision to make, and the choice he makes is to get Doyle out of the picture to give Frank a good life. And it's a really emotional film. I've yet to watch Sling Blade and not get emotional about the situation. There's a lot of beautiful scenes between Carl and Frank, and by the end of the movie, Billy Bob's character of Carl really changes into someone different. He becomes a stronger person, and he just, in being friends with Frank, he learns that, you know, that life's a lot better, and he's a lot better person for the relationship that he has with Frank. And there's a lot of interesting shots in the movie. There's some shots inside Frank's house where the camera just sits in the corner. It just stays there in the corner. It's very static, and just the shots are wide shots of the whole living room while things are happening, which I love those shots. I think they're very good. One of the things I also love about the movie is that Carl looks at people for who they are on the inside, not on the outside. One of the characters in the film, played by John Ritter, is he's Frank's mom's boss. He's gay, but whereas most people in town look at him as some kind of freak or make fun of him because he's gay, Carl just sees him as a person. He doesn't even, the whole gay thing doesn't even come into his mind. Very beautiful movie with tons of great performances in it. There's some cameos in the film from Jim Jarmusch. Also, Robert Duvall's in there. He has a cameo. But like I said, Sling Blade's just a very human story. Very southern. It's in Arkansas. Everybody talks with southern accents, and just it's just a very beautiful. I really love this movie a lot. If you haven't seen it, by all means, check it out. If you have seen it, tell me what you think about it in the comments. Tell me if you like it. If you don't like it, just tell me whatever you guys think. So until next time, I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye.